We tried to get into the ZVZ, but we ended up in yet another TVP. I'm going to become an expert in just this matchup. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Hecate, we've got the blue Terran player. For Cloud9, it's GuMiho. His opponent in the lower left-hand corner in the red. For Club NV, it's Creator. Now, both of these players have had some very solid results. They've had some big ups, but they also have had some of the lower lows. And I feel like both of these players, it's hard to predict where they're going to be. Every time I start to think, oh, I don't know about Creator, I don't know how he's doing, that's when he just like tops his group without losing a map in Katowice or something, and I'm like, oh, never mind. I guess he's one of the best Protoss in the world. That's right. He does do that. And the same thing with GuMiho. I'll be like, oh, I love GuMiho. GuMiho's awesome, but I don't expect him to go too far. And he'll just like get a cheeky second place. You know, it's just how it goes with both of these guys, that their results can kind of be all over the place for varying reasons. Creator is known for being a bit emotional, so I think a lot of times if things are going well, it can power him up. Things are going poorly, it can knock him down. A lot of it can just be in the mentals. GuMiho has very specific styles he likes to play. He likes to keep it fresh and interesting. Doesn't like to play the same thing over and over again, although he has gotten very, very solid with his macros, so that's scary as well. But he's always got some cheeky builds, so if those work, he can take some quick games off of players. But also sometimes they just end up falling flat on their face. So a little bit of a back and forth. So we see some Reaper micro here. GuMiho also recently has really struggled against Protoss, especially in these online cups. I feel like he does a bit better offline against Protoss, because he can prepare those specific builds, and GuMiho also, I think he's just the kind of player that does better offline when the pressure's really on. I feel like he performs at a higher level. But here in these online cups, GuMiho has really struggled against Protoss as of late. So we'll see here if he wants to try to do anything fancy or if it's just going to be good old macro play. As we do have a Phoenix opener out of Creator. It looks like Creator off the back of this, just dropping down a Robo. I'm imagining this is going to be Phoenix Colossus. Oh, is the EU server broken? Oh, I didn't know that. I know that Battle.net's been having some issues. I guess, like custom games. People haven't been able to make custom games. Clearly, it's working right now for these players, but they've had some issues for sure. So hopefully they figure something out for the EPT Cup Europe. I'm going to be asleep and then at work for that, so I don't really know. A Creator catching this drop nice and early here. He's going to go ahead and pick off a few of these Marines and damage this medevac. GuMiho is hitting at the front at the same time with a couple of Cyclones. A third one about to show up as well. Shield battery is getting a little lower on juice, but it looks like GuMiho happy to stop any third from going down too quickly, at least, and doesn't want to overcommit, doesn't want to lose these units. So far, he's only lost a few Marines, killed an Adepts. I think, you know, overall, this is pretty okay for GuMiho. But I like that he decided to pull back. Saw that there was no third and seemed to be pretty happy with that. He's going to put down his own third CC back at home and swap the factory onto the reactor to start up double Cyclone production. Now, this is the kind of stuff that I wouldn't necessarily expect here from anybody other than GuMiho. goes into one siege tank and then swaps onto reactor factory. And a second factory going down on that tech lab. It's cloaked Banshee as well. So Creator has the robo, so he should be able to build an observer. He's got one moving across the map right now. And with those Phoenixes, there should be a relatively easy defense against Banshees. But sometimes it's when you're perfectly well set up for it and you expect it the least that a unit like a Banshee can do the most. Because Creator, we see, doesn't have shield batteries in his mineral lines. He's certainly not expecting Banshees. You wouldn't expect Banshees with a Phoenix Robo opener. It feels like it doesn't make sense, right? Like, you have the hard counter against it. Why would you build it? As I say that, the Phoenixes just killed a Banshee on GuMiho's side of the map before Cloak was done. I'm shocked that GuMiho's letting Cloak finish. But he is going to let it finish. He's got the second Banshee on the way. And he's got more factories coming up. Now, I don't know. Okay, this factory has been spotted. So now he knows. Creator knows that this is, in fact, just going to be Mech out of his opponent. He's seen a lot of Cyclones. He knows it's heavy Cyclone. Colossus, the Immortal, they're going to be crucial here. The Phoenix is also very, very good at lifting these Cyclones up and stopping them from doing that lock-on and retreat thing that they're so well known for. This upgrade's going to help them to be able to move quite a bit quicker. But so far, GuMiho put a little pressure on, not really able to get much done, decides to just pull back and take his third. Hasn't killed this Observer yet. It's a very difficult to see Observer here in these trees. You barely tell that it's there. Ooh, but Creator deciding to move across the map a little bit. Wants to put some pressure of his own on. He's going to take a fourth base behind this. The Banshee is coming in, though, and might be able to get some probe kills here. As the Phoenixes do the same on the other side of the map, trying to get some SCV kills. Ooh, they find a siege tank. One Cyclone gets lifted and landed into the main base. Banshee getting some damage done. GuMiho not controlling it right now. So 3 probes go down, but a bunch of SCVs are starting to fall here. That being said, the Phoenixes are getting low. 2 of them have died already. And as this Phoenix count falls, Creator could be in trouble against the Vikings, which are starting to come out. But I don't know how many Colossi he's going to end up building. Looks like he's already got 2. And starting into the Disruptors. The Banshee will finally go down here after getting, I think, just 4 kills. But pulls those Phoenixes back, forces Creator to look back at home. And he did lose a few Phoenixes for that, but yeah, these trades have definitely been a lot better for the Protoss so far. GuMiho, though, he's in what is generally considered a very cost-efficient unit composition, right? Mech is usually considered very cost-efficient. But we don't see it against Protoss all that often. It's pretty rare to see Mech against Protoss. GuMiho is really the only high-level player that this comes out of, like, ever at all. I don't know. Have you guys seen Maru be playing Mech against Protoss? Because I feel like the answer is going to be no. So I'm very excited to see how this works out for GuMiho. And again, GuMiho's been struggling a bit against Protoss in a lot of these weeklies and online cups. So this might be him trying to figure out a way to overcome that, right? We'll see if Creator can handle it. Creator is sticking on Ground Army. He's got double Immortal coming out of the double Robo right now. I know he's got some Disruptors. He's got 1 Disruptor, a couple Colossi. Getting into some Archons now as well. The thing about playing up against Mech is I feel like you either have to try to keep the Terran on as few bases as possible. Like, I'm surprised Creator isn't out here trying to slow this base down at least a little bit, but he's just going to scout that it's there, and then that's about it for now. But you also just kind of have to stay a base ahead, and that's exactly what Creator's doing. As that 4th base gets taken, he drops down a 5th. GuMiho does have those Cyclones. He could try to push out and force a cancel on a base or something like that. Right now, Creator has really good vision everywhere. He's got Zealot and Adept, another Adept. He's just got vision throughout a lot of this map to keep an eye on GuMiho's movements a little bit. GuMiho's getting into a lot of Vikings. I think this is too many Vikings. I mean, I don't know. Vikings can be pretty decent when they land as well against Protoss units. There's a few of these units that are classified as mechanical. I think some Protoss units are classified as mechanical, which Vikings do bonus damage against. It's one of those like weird things. I think Vikings are like the only unit that does bonus to mechanical. But Stalkers are mechanical. I think Immortals might be too. I'm not really sure. Probes are. These Phoenixes get a few more kills here. And here's the transition for Creator. So he's getting into a Fleet Beacon, a second Stargate, and he's going to try to get into some Sky Toss. But, I mean, I feel like he's seen how many Vikings there are. Already 11 Vikings out. GuMiho, oh my God, he's putting down barracks. He's got a Ghost Academy, GuMiho. God, he's just such a beautiful human. I was going to say he could put down some more starports, but so far he's sticking on just the one reactored starport. I really wouldn't hate to see him put down one or two more just in case this air transition does start to happen out of his opponent. I will say GuMiho's upgrades are pretty abysmal right now, as we have 3-3 on the way for Creator. And Creator is deciding to push out here. He's going to catch a few of these Cyclones, and he wants to keep on pushing in. He's going to lift up the siege tanks, but the Vikings will make short work of those Phoenixes, and then they are going to take down these Colossi. But in the meantime, the ground army for Creator is starting to push through. That command center does not get to turn into a planetary. Those tanks do not get to live. And uh-oh, this third base of GuMiho is in some trouble. The high immortal count of Creator is just chewing through this mech army. And GuMiho was forced to tap out. All of that setup just for Creator to hit max and A-move through the army. Really not even... there wasn't even anything else there. Not even much else in terms of micro. He just like straight up A-moved his army. And it turns out if you build like 10 Immortals, pretty much any amount of Siege Tank Cyclone will die in front of you. You know, I think if GuMiho had been able to get into a few Ghosts earlier, some EMPs on those Immortals could have been huge. Would it have been enough to turn that game around? I don't know. That was pretty clear cut there. Creator just maxed out on 5 bases and A-moved before GuMiho was like super duper defensively set up. Maybe that planetary could have helped. Hard to say. Needless to say, that is why we do not see much Mech against Protoss. I've seen Mech get cleaned up like that a few times. Sometimes it seems to work a lot better. But I feel like Creator he's too practiced of a player to really fall for that. He's been around too long. Creator was there when GuMiho was winning with Mech, 2017. You know, Creator was there when Mech was much more in fashion than it is right now. He knows the ways to handle it. He knows how to play this matchup and take down that Mech play. Some Protosses might fall for it, but not this one. A red Protoss in the upper left-hand corner now of Oceanborn is Club NV's Creator. His opponent in the lower right, trying for some turtle mech in that game, but not quite getting to that full setup he was looking for with the ghosts, with the planetaries, maybe with liberators. Didn't quite get there. It is Cloud9's GuMiho. Yeah, super heavy on the Vikings, but like, I don't know, I feel like 3 liberators on that ramp, the planetary being done, 2 ghosts out for a couple of cheeky EMPs on like Archons and Immortals. Suddenly, Creator cannot push up that ramp. I know that sounds like a lot of stuff, but GuMiho was maybe 90 seconds away from ghosts. And he for sure could have replaced, I think he had liberators coming out perhaps? I don't know, I feel like I saw them on the production tab at some point, but didn't really see them do anything. Yeah, I feel like if 2 of those Vikings had been 2 liberators on the ramp, maybe the tanks were a little bit further back. That was another thing I didn't really talk about, but the tanks were right on the corner where the Immortals from the low ground could hit them. And that was a bit of a problem. Turns out Immortals are really good against siege tanks. But it's a new game. It's a new day. And it's a new map. And actually, I think this map would be pretty terrible for Mech. I feel like Mech would really struggle on this map. Just with the way the choke points are here. And I feel like there's a lot of room for counterattacks. This is a pretty large map. Usually gives us some very solid macro games. But I feel like this is a better map for bioplay than it would be for Mech. We'll see, though. Creator is opening a Stargate again. So he might be going right back into Phoenixes. Personally, I love Phoenix openers against Terran. I think that's a very strong way for the top Protoss to play against Terran. Terran is often so harassment focused. And we kind of saw in that last game how well Phoenixes can deal with that early game. Just poking and prodding, harassment, whether it's Hellions or Widow Mines. Last game was even Marines, and the Phoenixes don't usually deal with them all that well, but doing damage to that medevac meant that GuMiho had to get out of there. The double Reaper opening this game for GuMiho is kind of cheeky, though. He's going to grab a couple of probe kills. He has cornered himself a little bit here. The Adept's trying to catch up. They're just going to turn around and get one more probe kill. Scouts the Stargate with the Phoenix coming out. 3 probe kills, though. It's a nice little opening there for GuMiho. Who it does look like is trying to get into a Widowmine drop, but I feel like you just can't Widowmine drop against Phoenixes. And this is the problem for GuMiho. Is now he's, I feel like he's just got to play defensively with the Marines and the Widowmines. Phoenixes tend to deal with Widowmine drops super, super well. The Adepts are here to try to put some pressure on with the Phoenix. There is a Cyclone that can help out against this, and a few Marines. So one of those Adepts is going to go down, but the Marines are starting to fall. Widowmine does come forward, though, and GuMiho is going to push this away before the rest of those Marines die. GuMiho, instead of going for a drop, he's just going to kind of push. He's got a few Widow Mines, a Cyclone, and a few Marines here. Creator is trying to get an Immortal out, but he doesn't... Oh, he doesn't have a shield battery. Excuse me. This is just not the position I was expecting it in, so I just didn't even take into account that the shield battery could go here. It's kind of funny. I feel like Creator should be well set up for this. And GuMiho is just going to be annoying and burrow this Widow Mine where the third should go. And it looks like he's going to back up. I don't think he can get too much else done here. He could try to go for a Widow Mine drop. Beautiful. Kills the probe. The Widow Mine dies, but you gotta love it. Back home, though, no third base going down for GuMiho just yet. He's going to start up Stim, Combat Shields, and +1. Get all those upgrades cooking. And he's got a reactor on this factory. Could just be going for some Widow Mines with that, too. It is going to be Colossus as the tech of choice out of Creator. So Widow Mine's not going to be the strongest against that. Sometimes the Phoenixes pair up with charge lots, and that might be what GuMiho is expecting. That might be why he's going into Widow Mines. They can still be pretty decent. They can be all right if you're able to get them burrowed. They can be really annoying for the Protoss to deal with, but the Colossi can usually just kind of sit back with their Thermal Lance and chill against this. So GuMiho's got to make sure to get the scout on and know what he's going up against.
Are under attack.
Phoenix is getting some harassment done. Interesting, there's only 4 Phoenixes in this game. None of them have died, so it's just a low Phoenix count. As I say that, Creator does start up another one, so he's going to boost it up a little bit. GuMiho moving through the middle of the map, but I feel like there's plenty here for Creator to hold on against this. It's kind of a ragtag army right now, but This is a very marine-heavy army from GuMiho. There's a shield battery here. Creator's got some force fields ready, but I don't know if he's prepared for this. Oh, he just saw that cyclone. He knows there's an army here now. It was kind of a distraction, though. It looks like the mine drop is going to try to go down. There's not enough Phoenixes to lift up every Widow Mine, but it is going to be enough to kill all of this. Only one probe going down there. GuMiho takes down that pylon. He's going to try to boost him to the main, but there is a Phoenix there as well. And now GuMiho just has to run away. And oh no, these medevacs. Oh man, these medevacs. The medevac goes down, drops out most of his units first, and it looks like GuMiho is going to be able to get out of there. But this attack has not gone well for GuMiho so far. He's going to try to focus down the Phoenixes. He gets one, but then the force fields will force him to just keep running away. He does have a third base behind this and more bio. But yeah, that initial attack not going great for Gumi. That being said, he is a full upgrade ahead. He's got that +1 armor started up. No second eBay, but he does have that armory finished. But he's a full upgrade ahead of Creator, who has only just started +1 attack. Also started up charge. We'll get those chargey boys out. GuMiho is going to have to start getting something out to deal with the Colossi, though, as the Colossus count grows. It's only 2 right now, but Creator could absolutely go up into 3 or 4 if he wanted to. The Phoenix count has gotten kind of low, although it looks like Creator has made 1 or 2 more. But some Vikings might not be too bad of an idea once the medevac count gets high enough. Oh, Creator's just teching all over the place. He's got +1 charge, Templar Archives coming out, more Colossi, more gateways. Creator's really powering up right now. And I feel like GuMiho needs to either get some damage done or he needs to power up on his side of the map. Right now, he's going for a drop on one side while he's hitting the other. This is a triple drop, a lot of potential here, but it looks like it's just going to kill a few probes and a few pylons. Not really that much damage getting done so far. The Robo should stay alive here as Creator's army has showed up. He's going to force the lift up and force the get out. GuMiho also trying to hit in the middle here, but Creator has an army here as well. And I think it's going to be enough to hold on. Though a little bit of damage being done, but not a ton right now by GuMiho. But he has taken a supply lead. He's up about 10 supply. Not the biggest deal in the world, but it's better than nothing. Well, looks like he tried to drop back in. Doesn't really work out, though. Guardian Shield holding on. And Creator's still going to be able to power up into that very powerful army. He has a Templar Archives. He didn't get Storm, though. I wouldn't hate to see Storm, but it looks like he's just going to go for some Archons instead. I don't think... Yeah, the Ghost Academy only just starting for GuMiho, so no Ghosts out. Second Starport is on the way, but he doesn't have any Vikings or Liberators out at all. Looks like he's lost a few medevacs as well. There's only 4 of them. He'll kill one Observer, but there's a second Observer right here. Now he's going to walk into the Lion's Den between both of these big armies. No. No. He pulls back. And Creator's just been allowed to be on 4 bases for a while now. And Creator's starting to feel like, hey, I think I can move out against you. Widow Mine's looking to get some big hits, getting some okay ones, but not the best here. And Creator is just cleaning this up, pushing it back. GuMiho, he's on the back foot. He's got a very powerful looking bio army. He's going to lift up a bunch of it and head towards the main. He's got this little squad that's going to try to hit this base, but this squad is heading towards the third, and Creator is in the base. Now, Creator could recall here if he gets some damage done, leave a few Zealots behind and recall into his main, because that is where the army is boosting. GuMiho not very near that Nexus, so if the recall does go down, I think Creator can get it off. But right now, Creator, it looks like he wants to just go for the base trade. This feels dangerous for Creator. So Ghost trying to be as cost efficient as possible in here. I would love to see these Vikings either maneuver around or just head to the other side of the map. Creator is already bringing probes over. He's killed so many of GuMiho's SCVs, but GuMiho has a little stash of about 23 SCVs over here. Probes are starting to go down now. Oh, as this Colossus is doing a great job holding. GuMiho's not paying attention to this at all. Could absolutely stim these 3 Marauders forward and kill this Colossus. He's killed the 4th base. The 3rd base is completely devoid of probes. All those probes went to the other side of the map. Creator's army is getting very disjointed, and oh no, he's found the SCV cache. All these SCVs need to go hang out by the army, I think. GuMiho needs to be careful not to lose all those. GuMiho is up an upgrade right now. Oh no, but +2 is gonna finish for Creator. And that's gonna keep them even on upgrades. That's actually kind of a problem here for GuMiho. I think the bigger problem though is Creator is up 30 army supply. And I don't think any of those ghosts made it to the other side of the map. Yeah. Ghost Academy is about to die as well. GuMiho has a base up here. He's got a command center. His command center is burning down, but he could drop a mule from this orbital. I don't know where all the SCVs went. There's only 9 SCVs left. Looks like they got dropped out here. The medevac, he's going to land this burning orbital and might be able to save it. Although Creator... Oh, the probes can't quite see it. GuMiho, save the orbital. GuMiho! I don't think it's going to matter anyways. Creator has a Nexus. He's got a bunch of probes near it. The base went down. Oh, the mule dropped, but it was too late. RIP. Creator's looking for the army, which all picked up in the medevacs and went home. Oh no, but the SCVs! The only SCVs alive! And that might just be it there. As GuMiho loses the last of his workers. GuMiho is going to kill this Nexus. Creator has 22 probes, but he's about to lose a bunch of those. So now he's down to... There's a few probes here. There's, I think, a couple of probes with the army. Maybe just the one probe near the army. There's a few probes just around on the map for Creator. I mean, this is getting into real base trade territory right here. Creator hasn't rebuilt his base. He has 1,000 minerals, though, so he can just rebuild a Nexus. He could just take this. Because right now, GuMiho sees where all the rest of the buildings are. I love these probes out on the map. This Phoenix is going to spot that there's an orbital up here, and Creator's going to go for that orbital. Part of the army has showed itself here. 2 Marines going to try to take down this pylon. A couple of Zealots show up to clean up those Marines, and they will get killed. The base has been rebuilt here. This orbital is going to go down, but there's still an orbital up here. GuMiho is hiding it. Instead of keeping it in the corner, there are Phoenixes. GuMiho has now killed every single building. Okay, we got to see the structures. The only structure for Creator is this one. And the only structure for GuMiho is this one. GuMiho cannot build an SCV. He has nothing. He can't do anything unless he loses his army. All Creator has to do is keep this building safe. Because Creator has 10 probes left. I don't know where they all are. They're kind of spread out on the map. But he could, you know, like group a few of them together and recall them to the Nexus. All he has to do is protect this Nexus. Creator also has a little bit of money. I wouldn't hate to see him put down a pylon up here too, just in case GuMiho dives on this. GuMiho's going to go for it. He drops on the back. He's going to focus the Nexus down. Creator needs to put down a building. He needs to put down a building. He's got a Nexus in the upper corner, and it's not going to matter. GG. I was so worried Creator wasn't going to put down a building somewhere, and he was going to lose that Nexus. But he's smarter than me. He puts down a Nexus in the upper corner, and I think he keeps that Nexus alive anyways. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day. And Creator takes the 2-0 victory over GuMiho. GG.